Well, unfortunately, following the theme of extremely low-level, base-level execution takeover, we've got a story about SonicWall releasing a rootkit busting firmware update following a wave of attacks. This is a firmware update to remove overstep rootkit malware deployed against fully patched but end-of-life SMA 100 appliances by the threat actor group UNC 6148. This comes again after months of security incidents, including an Akira ransomware campaign, brute force attacks on cloud backup services, and various credential stealing campaigns. Google warned in July of this year that UNC 6148 had been exploiting these SMA 100 appliances. Overstep modifies the appliance's boot process to maintain persistent access and to steal sensitive credentials. This is targeting the SMA 100 series, including SMA 210, 410, and 500V. Brute force attacks have been reported against SonicWall Cloud Backup Service for firewalls as well. And Rapid7 analysts previously warned that Akira was exploiting SSL VPN misconfigurations in addition to a year-old CVE. So this is being tracked under CVE 2024-4766, CVSS 9.8. That was the Akira ransomware vulnerability from last year. We will share a link to the article that includes SonicWall's advisory and goes back to that cloud threat intelligence report from Google's threat group. And so mitigations, well, you want to install that firmware update patch. There's no recommended workarounds. Just make sure to install the patch. So I guess to kick us off here, it's been a rough year for SonicWall admins. You had rootkit stories in July, ransomware campaigns in August, cloud backup breaches in September. I forgot to mention a statement from SonicWall said that thieves access firewall configuration data belonging to, quote, fewer than 5% of their firewall installed base. So other than trying to get off end-of-life hardware, what are some recommendations that admins can do to try and get in front of these future issues if they aren't in a position to upgrade or make a move right now?
Yeah, so this one could be kind of tough because with this end of life software, sometimes you'll get like the nice little tosses from the vendor being like, we don't officially support this, but we'll give you like some kind of like special sauce. Someone we happen to get the intern on this is really easy to patch. We'll just send you a nice little like you can't expect those all the time. So it's like nice when you get them, but yeah, it's patching is out the window. In terms of like end of life hardware, I think like you said, like it's been a rough year for SonicWall admins. It's been a rough year for like a lot of like. I mean, it's
That's
always
fair.
been rough years for like
That's fair.
edge
Decades.
devices, like VPN configurations, and a lot of times, like the biggest thing to think of or like the highlight is like a lot of times these big actors, they're so big they have to be efficient with how they target things. They're not going out and like specifically finding one company to target. They're doing like mass scanning, and then from mass scanning they'll figure out their targets from there, and a lot of it's automated. So if you can just take like just mostly simple steps of like figuring out how you can prevent your device from like being shown publicly. That could be something like taking off the like management access from public access, put it behind a VPN, put it behind something, disable it entirely, and you can only access it from within a network. Like that's, like I said, that's typically how these attackers are finding these things, is by doing mass scans. So the most, whatever you can do to like kind of like hide yourself from those scans is probably like your first step of like your easiest step of trying to get off of those automated and getting off of those like alerts to tell like these attackers to like focus more on you, because then it takes more effort on their part to like find you and continue like attacking from there. And then past that, if you've already hidden all that and you've got your management behind everything, like start going a little bit further, see if you can restrict management access to specific IPs. You should enable logging if you on these end of life devices. Like make sure you've got as much logging as possible. You're sending it to a SIM. You're sending it somewhere where you can regularly review it and got alerts on it. And just stay informed as well. If you know you have end of life devices, maybe set up like some kind of like process where you're checking their vendor, like the SonicWall specifically, like they've got PCert. So just like maybe you make it a regular process where you review their alerts or notifications like weekly or something like that, or maybe that's too much, but just like kind of make it a regular process to keep an eye on like what's going on, so that way if something does happen you'll be on top of it. But yeah, just try to get into the mindset of the device being compromised already. What would happen if somebody got on the device? What access would they get to? It's all about like reducing that and like mitigating your risk.
Yeah, all about, I'll build the layers in there, right? Like, don't just have a single box that connects to the internet, because that's, it's a rough day. I think these are smaller devices too, right? So like you're probably going to see these more in branch offices, and that gets tough, right? If you have a hub and spoke network, right? Like you've got these things out small places, or like retail's huge for that, right? Like they have a million stores that all connect back to a single network. Keeping track of these is tough, and like inventory and asset management, it goes a long way. It's like pretty wild, just knowing what you have, what software's on it, right? So that you can be ahead of this stuff. Like it's very, I could see a situation where it's very easy to have end of life devices and you didn't even know, right? Like you would have taken care of it, but you just didn't know. So yeah, keep that in mind.